Hello everyone, today I'm back with another video. This one is a bit different from my other videos. Today I want to talk about my hidden gems for pro play. Obviously you can use them in solo queue too. By the way, I got a problem with my right eye and it hurts to look at the bright lights. And my camera is not good enough to work without proper lighting. That's why I'm not going to use my camera in this video, but it won't be a problem. I don't want to block the tier list either way. So what's the purpose of this video? The way I wanted to create this video is because I think most of the teams, most of the pro teams are just stuck with like 30 total champion pool in all roles in total. So I want to bring some perspective about this issue, and I actually don't like seeing every single game, every time the same champions. Like I don't want to see Zeri Lulu versus Lucianami anymore. Like I can't take it on. That's why I wanted to make this video. Back to our topic. What I mean by my hidden gems is the champions that I think are undervalued or underused. So some of these champions are already seeing some play time in pro play, but not that much, and that these are the ones that I want to see more inside the game, or that can benefit the teams more. So that's why I included some of them. Now today I'm gonna have 5 champions, one for each role, and maybe I can expand this list in the second follow-up video. I don't know, I haven't planned it yet, but I'm gonna start with 5. And I want to start with Amumu support. So why I got Amumu support in here? When we got the support item buffs and nerfs in 13.3, I was expecting some teams to at least try playing in an all-in lane, like Samira Amumu, maybe Nila Amumu. I don't know. I don't think Nila is a good champion right now, but Samira can be a great pick for these kind of situations. That's why I was expecting it. Against the double marksman lane. The ones you see like Wars Caitlyn, Wars Jhin. I don't know. Maybe Wars is support. Kalista is a support in the lane. Everyone's using that. Thank you, Kyria, about that. So I wanted to see at least some of the teams are trying an all-in lane against those double marksman lanes, because the double marksman lanes harass you down the lane using Halo of Blades and gain control of the lane early, like at level 1. But Amumu having 2 charges in his queue and even all-in at level 1, compared to other champions, like for example Leona cannot all-in at level 1, because what happens if you use your E? Doesn't matter. They'll just run you down and you just lose more HP. But Amumu can, because he has 2 charges in his queue. He can CC both of those marksmans, or just CC chain one of them, or at least you can just follow it, not chaining it, but follow it with another queue. So I was expecting some teams to try that. It might not work all the time, but I would love to see someone trying against the double marksman. It's not that easy for a double marksman lane to come back once you lost the control against an engaged support. Even if you don't kill them, if you just force them to go base or just lose some XP, the double marksman lanes is not that great against an all-in lane, if the all-in lane can play properly. That's why I want to see an all-in lane. That's why, and I put Amumu support in here. My second gem should be pretty easy for my old followers to guess. You have a guess? It's a mid lane champion, Nivea. Well, in most of the situations in pro play where Victor is viable, Anivia is also viable. I mean, both of the champions has kind of similar play styles, and you can play Anivia against most of the meta champs right now. Like, for example, we got Annie, newly introduced into the meta when she got buffed. Anivia is good against Annie. And Annie is seeing a lot of pro play time. Right now, especially in EU, but also some of the Asian teams are already played it. We got Gragas in mid lane. You can also play Anivia against Gragas. And also, you can just easily control how the team fights are played around. I mean, what are the reasons players playing Gragas in mid lane? They just want to control how the team fight goes. You can control it with Gragas because you got CC, you got zone control, you got AoE damage, you got everything to do that. Anivia also has that. And Anivia scales pretty well in the game. I mean, she got great scaling, she got strong power spikes. Every single item makes her extremely better compared to other champions. I mean, one item Victor, like in my previous example, first example, one item Victor doesn't do that much. Anivia can. I mean, even with just getting one Leandris or Seraphs just changes a lot of things for Anivia. Even just having a big mana pool changes her playstyle and makes you stronger. The only drawback about Anivia is she's not that easy to play. And I get it. I get why players are most of the time going for Victor instead of playing Anivia. I mean, they got more practice in Victor they got years of practice with Victor. No one played. Well, only Frogan played. And we got some EU and NA players trying Anivia, but there weren't that much. And you need to use your spells carefully, you need great positioning awareness, and you also need matchup knowledge, but I still think despite the nerfs, which she got on the last patch, she's a great champ for pro play. And I wanna see her more. I wanna see at least once. And even if a bad example could be a good one in this one. Because if someone tries and plays bad with her, doesn't matter. Some other player might try and have a good game with her. That's why I want to see her. So, today's third champion goes to jungle. And this one saw some gameplay in pro play, actually. And it's not that much. And I think she deserves more. And that's Lilia. Why I'm not putting those champions in there? Let me see. I forgot putting Anivia there. Putting Lilia in here too. So why I think Lilia deserves more. She opens up so many paths for the teams. Like you can play double AD Bruiser in both solo lanes. You can focus on early game by having prio lanes. And she can just run around the map, collect all the camps, scuttles, everything. And she can do that. You can also focus on mid to late game by using your farming capabilities. I mean, we know Lilia. Lilia can outfarm almost any champion, any jungler in the game. And you can use this. Obviously, this is not the meta right now because we got a broken comeback XP mechanic. Yeah, I admit it, that's broken. But in patch 12.4, the comeback experience on kills got nerfed. So this gives her the opportunity to have a lead without ganking and preserve her lead all game long. I expect a rise at her pick rate after 13.4 comes to pro play. I hope this happens, and I hope the jungle meta also shifts, because what I mentioned in the bot lane, like Zerilulu versus Lucian Nami, it's also happening in jungle. Wukong Sejuani Y, let's go. Let's just change those. At least we get some Lee Sin in here. Elise is like we saw some Elise, but also she got into a permaban status, so we got 3 champs, and I hope we can see more of the Lilia. G2's using it, and they're having a lot of wins with it. I hope other teams will do that. Now on the 4th spot, I have a top laner. This champion is having a high win rate in solo queue for such a long time, and he even got nerfed before. However, the playstyle these days where junglers spend most of their time helping bot lane, Singed can be a great top lane option. Where's Singed? Where did he go? Should be here. Singed. The Rod of Ages changes helped him a lot. Like, we gotta say that first, because it changed the game. Rod of Ages, the changes to Rod of Ages also changed the game. The item made Kassadin meta, Ryze came back, Cassiopeia is using it, right now Gragas players are using it in mid lane. But everyone was so focused on these champions, Singed flew under the radar, I think. And Road of Ages first, followed by Demonic Embrace is a great build for Singed. And you can build it into anything else after that. Like, you can build Dead Man's Plate if you want to follow and chase down people. You can build Rylai's, you can build Zhonya's, you can build full tank. Doesn't matter. He can utilize those items pretty well. I mean, it's already annoying to play against Singed, both in lane and in team fights. And now, right now, everyone's focused on around bot lane, so he'll have more time, more free time to proxy farm the top lane. That's why I think Singed can see some pro play. But I don't know, pro players don't want to mess with Singed, because I believe there are some Singed OTPs in all of the solo queues in all regions, and I think the players are kind of hating them, because who loves Singed? Only the OTPs love Singed. So I don't think pro players want to play it. But he can be a useful champion in pro play. Well, my last pick for today is Kalista. And we saw some Kalista in pro play. I know she's getting picked occasionally. She even saw some time of support again, thanks to Carrier. But I think she should see more playtime. The bot lane meta is so snowbally, and for years, Kalista was the definition of snowballing bot lane. I still prefer Draven though, it's my own preference, but Kalista was that. I think two reasons are denying Kalista to become a go-to pick. The first one is Ashe is in the meta, and Ashe just destroys the game, destroys the fun for Kalista, both with slows, both with long range. Everything just counters Kalista in Ashe. But she became a permaban in pro play. After the beginning of the season, like in the first 2 weeks of pro play, maybe 3, Ashe was not getting banned a lot. But right now, after 13.3 came out, Ashe is almost in the permaban status. So this first reason is out. The second one right now, the second problem Kalista might have, is that you cannot blind pick Kalista. I mean, your go-to blind pick is Varus and Lucian. Sometimes it becomes Zeri too, but I don't like it at all. I think Zeri's kind of trolling in most of those situations, but Kalista is not a go-to pick. Some matchups in the bot lane are not that easy for Kalista to play against, like Draven, and more players are learning to play Draven each day. But I still think players can find more spots to play Kalista. Like I mentioned in Amumu, playing Amumu. Maybe an Amumu Kalista lane can be played against double marksman. Of course, I know the double marksman will have more range, but Kalista Amumu has a great all-in potential at level 1. They can use it. There were my 5 hidden gems for pro play. You can always use these champions, as I mentioned before, in solo queue too. And I think maybe the pro scene will have meta diversity pretty soon. I'm guessing that, at least before the playoffs of LCK and LPL. I'm hoping for that too. Let me know what are your hidden gems for your solo queue games in the comments, and have a nice day. See ya!